from the vivid imagination of that master storyteller of the macabre, Nathaniel Hawthorne,
Alice!
comes Twice Told Tales, a trio of terrifying experiences, brilliantly portrayed by that personification of all evil on the screen, Vincent Price. In this tomb, you will live a pulse-quickening adventure as two friends dabble in the black arts, and a secret buried in the grave returns to haunt two unfaithful lovers.
You died, Sylvia. You've been dead for 38 years.
In this garden of evil unfolds the diabolic delineation of the most fantastic horror conceived by a distorted mind.
Since my father made me what I am, he used its poisons to change the chemistry of my blood. Watch that poor creature die. You would die if you touched me.
In this house of seven gables, filled with the brooding mystery of an ancient curse, its very walls creaking with evil, a chilling tale of vengeance casts a spell of horror beyond belief.
That was his blood. The Pynchons are cursed. Every male member of the family has died the same way.
Once upon a little planet, a nice provincial planet set deep in the galactic stakes, there lived an interesting thing called man. Man had 2 legs and 2 convictions. One he called luck, which he believed in when things went right. The other one he used when things went wrong. And this was called religion. Man was vertebrate, bipodic, omnivorously dieted, often bald, and had a soul that never died. Also, he had his fellow countrymen to stop him getting overconfident. Man ate a lot. Plants, fish, animals, birds, snails, almost anything that he could reach. Occasionally he ate other men, but this was rare. Each man had a liver, a heart, a brain, and a flag. These were his vital organs. On these his life depended. Doubtless there were men alive with only half a liver. Some had no heart, and many had no brain. But a man without a flag? Impossible. Man was the most useful living creature. He raised the value of steel shares. Cheerfully he died a soldier's death, or committing spectacular crimes, thereby selling innumerable newspapers, all of which have now vanished. Many admired human character, but it was split. One half was known as male and did not want to think. The other was called female, in whom thinking was discouraged. Yet both had this in common. They were full of fear. They were afraid of cancer, debt, old age, loneliness, and failure. But most of all, they feared their fellow man, thus justifying the name Sapiens. Man was political. He lived in groups. Each group detested the next group. Oh, there were so many detestations. And the chief of these was called patriotism. Although he had 2 ears, man rarely listened. And if he did, he only liked to hear promises, estimates of his own value, congratulations, and, above all, expressions of gratitude. Of course, some men were different, thinkers, revolutionaries, saints, but these were few, and they were quickly crucified, shot, or poisoned. And in addition to men, there were white South Africans, though as their extinction was hourly expected and did eventually arrive, none of their artifacts survived. Next week, we study dogs.
There is no phone ringing, damn it!
The last man on Earth lives in a fortress.
What day is it anyway? Monday? The hell it is. It's Sunday.
Sunday, I always dress for dinner.
Discovered check. How does that grab you, Caesar?
The last man on Earth always carries an automatic weapon. The last man on Earth is hunting. Because the last man on Earth is not alone.
Right up against the wall, you mother. Don't turn, just stand. When I want you to turn, I'll turn you on or off, up or around. I'll turn you. Now cool it. Now put your hands out. Out. Way out. I'll show you how I like to come crucify you, baby. You got any more questions, fathead?
My name's Robert.
Your name's Mud.
God, I forgot to keep the fuel up in the generator. They'll be into the garage.
Is this not the place where all the dead were burned? Get those lights off! He's gone!
Damn it, left and step on it. Step on it.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
What's good?
What is good? And I see S Sync is already in the house. Hello to S Sync. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, boys, for joining me tonight. Thanks everybody for joining us. This is the beginning of season 4. This is our first episode of season 4. So happy season 4, everybody. I'm glad that you could all join us.
Happy other holiday. It is a holiday today.
Oh gosh, yes, of course. It's very yeah.
It's season 4 day, everybody.
Season 4 day and nothing else. Certainly
nothing else.
Certainly not a day.
I think they threw a parade for us today.
Yeah, it's definitely a Scream Stream parade. That's okay. Yeah, that makes so much sense. That's why everybody was celebrating. That's what they were celebrating today. Okay, I thought there was an occasion to celebrate. Of course, it's the Scream Stream, season 4. What else would it be? Certainly not Veterans Day. So yes, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there.
After 3 seasons, we're veterans of the stream.
We are in our 4th quarter, and we're hoping this will take us at the end of this season. We'll be at 1 year in. So at that point, we're vets. We are solid vets, for sure, right? We still got a little bit we're still working out some kinks. If Evan's camera glitches out, gremlin, I'll take care of it. But those are the things, that's we're almost vets, but we gotta kill all the gremlins first, and then we'll get all of our proper commendations to be considered vets. We gotta kill them gremlins.
We're storming the beaches of Gremlin Land.
Grimlandia. Grimlandia. Yeah, we definitely
G-Day.
G-Day. It is definitely G-Day. No, it's Friday, so we're bringing you some classic horror from the public domain for your Friday night, just to have fun with. Just, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's November 11th. We had a great celebration for the end of October. We went out on a bang with a double feature, and also a community guideline strike on YouTube, which is a whole other thing. Yeah, it's like definitely cue that sad music. But we took some time off. We're back. We're better than ever. But it's it's just because Halloween and spooky season is over, that doesn't mean that the horror is year round. Horror movies are year round,
especially when it's just always dark.
Well, that's true.
It just feels like a horror movie all the time.
It does. It immediately goes after daylight savings time.
Yeah.
It's like,
so it's daylight. Have you guys heard about this? This daylight savings time.
What?
You guys heard about it?
Oh, no, I haven't. What do you mean?
So they say that we're saving daylight. Well, what I want to know is, if we're saving so much daylight, where the hell is it? I look outside and it's dark.
You can't cash it in until you're 55 and a half.
Ah, okay.
Makes
yeah,
sense.
you pay a penalty if you break it early.
Yeah, the daylight savings time K, brought to you by Fidelity.
It's my retirement plan. Yeah.
How dark are things looking?
Seriously. No jokes. Getting heavy tonight at the start of season 4. I mean, if you saw the cartoon that we let in with at the pre-roll, just a little taste of what we're going to be getting into with tonight's film. Some really heady topics, because tonight's film is The Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price, and it's it gets pretty heady. It's imagine if you were the last person on Earth. I didn't come up with any good questions about that. I didn't come up with some kind of game, but
he's the last person on Earth.
The last human on Earth.
But he's
I
not
thought he was
alone.
just the last man. I
The
thought
last
there were like a bunch of
cute
women.
man.
Yeah, sorry. The tone of this movie is not that. Wait.
That's the thing. That's why I say this is kind of serious. Because if you've seen a lot of Vincent Price's stuff before, he's kind of known for very campy roles and very campy movies. Even his horror movies, like the Edgar Allan Poe stuff, can get pretty campy. This isn't necessarily that. I mean, every once in a while he gets a little over the top. But, you know, this is a Vincent Price movie where his performance is actually fairly nuanced, dare I say. Well, you guys will be the judges for yourselves. We've seen one Vincent Price movie on the show so far. We saw The Bat in season 3, and that was
how much
not a great movie, but
how hard is Vincent Price being Vincent Price in this movie? Where does he have the price dial?
That
tuned to?
I'd say if normally he's at an 8 or 9, then here he's at like a 6.
Okay.
He doesn't. It's not necessarily the same kind of character that he's used to playing, which is we'll get into kind of the opinions that certain people had about Vincent Price being cast in this role. Because the other thing about tonight's movie is that it is an adaptation of a novel that's relatively well known, Richard Matheson's I Am Legend, which most people will know that title from the Will Smith movie from the early 2000s, and that's the same source material. That's what tonight's movie is based on. I think they originally, when they went in production on this, were gonna call it I Am Legend. I don't know why change it to The Last Man on Earth. And then also in the pre-roll, we had a trailer for another adaptation called The Omega Man, which I don't even know where you get that title. I don't know. Is that
Omega's last? So
well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
well, and so
Last
another thing going into it tonight, I haven't read the novel. I have not read I Am Legend, but Evan has.
I have. I love I Am Legend.
Evan,
novella.
how long ago did you first read it?
I've only read it once. It was a few years ago. Not too long ago.
And you were a fan.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's a good story.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that's, you know, there's a lot of things that we'll kind of see about tonight's movie where you can see why certain people criticize certain aspects, but I think that it's just such a great story that's why I really love tonight's movie. You know,
I feel like I'm in a really bad position going into this.
Are you just gonna be judging every little
right? I have the
fine.
unfavorable job of being the guy who's read the book.
I love that though. That's what we're here for. I'm interested because it is different.
This is wrong and this is wrong.
I mean, Richard Matheson, the author of the book, certainly had some opinions on this movie and the casting of Vincent Price, and we'll talk about it. But
didn't he write this movie?
He did. We'll get into it. It's a little bit of a complicated story. It's wild, you know, classic Hollywood stuff. But it is one of those. It's one of those things where obviously the movie's going to deviate from the source material, but I think in what it does with Price's character, I think it does so in an interesting way. It's not like the source material in a lot of respects as far as the main character goes, but I think to a certain advantage. But we'll see. We'll get into it tonight. We'll find out. So I'm very excited. I love this movie. So as always, if you're new to the show, Evan brings us a different drink every week to pair with the evening's film, something kind of related to the theme of the movie, related in some way to the movie, in a little segment which we call
What Were You Drinking?
What Were You Drinking?
So, I don't know how tangential this one might be, but I thought for this season, maybe try some different things. So normally, up until now, we've been drinking a lot of cocktails. I thought, hey, maybe we'll try some wine. We've got a vampire movie. We'll try a nice red wine. So we're having a nice blood red Cabernet Sauvignon tonight. We're gonna break into this. I'm not gonna show the label because they're not paying me.
No, we don't have any sponsorship here, unfortunately.
But if
the wine's not public domain.
The movies are public domain. The wine is not.
But I will say, the bottle is very entertaining. This is a vintage 2019, which it seems like an oxymoron. Maybe vintage doesn't mean what I think it does.
well, that's just the word that they use.
It became vintage in 2019.
Vintage.
Everything
Vintage
before
dated.
2020 feels like vintage.
Well, and Evan,
this is pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Evan
this is
on
pre-COVID wine.
On
That's
the
a whole other
mini-sode,
era.
he kind of went into a little more his motivation for picking tonight's wine. He listened to a Vincent Price CD called Wine is Elegance.
That's right. Well, it was a vinyl.
A vinyl.
So in
yes,
the late
vinyl.
70s, Vinny did a spoken word vinyl album about like dinner parties and pairing wines, and was apparently a big wine guy himself, which isn't really a surprise. I think if you look at a character like Vincent Price, that kind of guy is the kind of guy who would have like a big dinner party in his haunted mansion that he probably owns,
right,
and serve a bunch of wine to his doomed guests.
Creepy and cultured.
Creepy and cultured.
Creepy and cultured.
And in this album, he keeps leaning into the fact that he loves California wines. He like keeps mentioning it over and over. It's always something like, and don't let anyone fool you. California grapes are among the finest in the world.
Of course, leave it to Vincent Price to really sell you on the powerful qualities of California wine.
Yeah, so somebody in California was probably paying for this album. But I forgot to mention that the wines that I picked for tonight are from California.
Yeah.
Which yay California. I thought that it might be hard. Like I wasn't sure what to expect when I went into the wine aisle. Like, okay, well I gotta find something that's from California. Everything on that island is from California.
Oh yes, you didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
Everything's from California.
But we are going to.
Well, this is good. We haven't done like a sangria, right? Like
we haven't done a sangria.
This is our first wine, and I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily a wine guy. Definitely, not my drink of choice. But
yeah, well, tonight we're being a little sophisticated.
We have to. Vincent Price is a sophisticated guy. So we're hanging out with him tonight.
You gotta stick your pinky out when you're being Vincent.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we gotta make sure that
when in doubt.
Yeah.
Pinky out.
When in doubt, pinky out. Well, I think on that note.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Yeah.
If you sip wine and you just take it easy, it's fine. When you're in college, you don't know what it means to try to enjoy a glass of wine. You're just
nice,
chugging it
isn't
down.
It? Slow down. You just get. So the bottle claims that it has flavors of dark cherries and currants.
Okay.
Which I
what
guess
is currants? Yeah. What is?
I don't know. Cherries. I'm getting kind of that.
I'm getting currants.
Yeah, kind of tart. And a smooth, full-bodied finish, which I think they also advertise. You get that same description on a pack of cigarettes.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the same lingo, without a doubt.
So who knows what that means?
Connoisseurs,
man. Are you smoking yet?
that was the funny thing, because I last night I listened to a little bit of Wine is Elegance, and that was the funny thing to me, was when he starts using all these terms and he's talking about wine, he is like educating you. He's like,
yeah, it's a really
things.
I would recommend the record. It was an entertaining listen,
but it's still just kind of hilarious because, you know, Vincent Price is Vincent Price. But we will talk about it tonight. I mean, the man was very you know, his career in the arts expanded so much outside of just movies, and definitely outside of horror movies. I mean, he was happy to have horror movies, but he was so much more than just a horror movie actor. So we'll talk about that tonight. And I think, but I think
it was a horror movie like living character,
right? Well, yeah, that's actually a good point. And I think the wine is a perfect pairing. You know, I think it's, you know, it's
something to enjoy when you're the last man on earth.
You know, when you just sit down, all you can really do is just enjoy a good glass of wine. And
what else is there to do?
Just be like, well, guess we had a good run.
We did it.
We did it. We're here. We're at the end. We saw it through. No, this is good. I can definitely taste the cherries for sure. And Evan, also, you got some different wines. You have a second wine. So.
Yeah, there is a second. I thought we could compare the two.
We'll do a little bit of
a little tasting,
wine tasting, which again, you know, there's one of the Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe movies involves him being a wine. I guess he's a sommelier. That's what they call?
Yeah, it's like the wine, the taste.
Yeah, and he's battling Peter Lorre, who's just like a drunk, who's just like he's such a drunk that he knows just as much about wine as the sommelier, who is Vincent Price. And it's dumb.
That's funny. That's a good bit.
It's a Roger Corman. It's a comic, like, so that's from an anthology film of the Edgar Allan Poe stories they did, and that's the middle one, and it's more comedy inclined.
Is it a real Edgar Allan Poe story, or is it just the Edgar Allan Poe's?
It's pretty much like that, although I'll say it's a little closer than some of the other things. That what they basically do is they take like cask of Amontillado and the Black Cat, and they bring them together. And yeah, I mean, it's a liberal adaptation. And yeah, the writer of I Am Legend, Richard Matheson, also wrote a lot of the Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe movies, which is we'll get into it. Yeah, that was our trivia question tonight.
You want to save that, or do you want to?
We can save it a little bit because I've got a good
that cork early.
I've got a good bit on Richard Matheson, so we can save it.
Look, I got a type 5 on Richard.
I got a type 5 on Richard Matheson. I got it all queued up.
So Richard, have you guys heard about this Richard Matheson? You guys heard about this guy?
Have you heard about it? Let me tell you about this guy. Unbelievable. Evan and I were practicing our 90s stand-up guys earlier. Our generic Seinfeld. Oh, goodness. Well, this wine's going to be perfect. You know, vampires aren't necessarily inclined to drink wine, but when it's a bloody... you know, a bloody red like this, maybe they give it a shot. Maybe they think it's blood, and then, God, this is really good. This is some of the best blood I've had in a while. Oh, that's not blood, that's wine. What?
I've been drinking wine this whole time.
Do a spit take.
Ruin whoever's clothes standing right there. It's, you know, covered in wine stains now.
Check the Discord. You can see what I'm sipping on right now.
Okay, let's see. Let's get
a
little
taste of.
I'm
not a poser.
What Fresh is sipping on right now. Oh my gosh! Hold on, I'll show Evan. See that, Evan? Our viewers obviously can't see this because Fresh's voice only, but Fresh is drinking some Francis Ford Coppola wine right now, which
exists apparently.
It does. He has a vineyard. He's for probably decades at this point.
Vintage.
It's his retirement plan.
Right.
No, yeah, vintage. No, he is he's been in wine for a long time. And he also did we've seen a Francis Ford Coppola movie on the show already. We saw I think it's probably the only one we'll see, Dementia 13, but he also he did a vampire movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh.
So fitting in with our theme of vampires tonight. Although tonight's vampires it's different. It's a different, not all, they're called vampires, but it's not your typical vampire, and they don't handle it in the typical, legend and lore way. This is very much based in the real world. And so you get some interesting results, I think.
I'm getting some cinematic notes off of this class.
Well, I would think a couple of cinematic notes, and probably.
Look, I got a couple notes on the script you wrote.
Probably some chaotic grips yelling, echoing in the background, like struggling to set up some elaborate setup that Francis Ford Coppola is demanding that be staged at the risk of everybody's safety. Francis Ford Coppola is an interesting character. He's not necessarily a great guy, not a terrible guy, but not a great guy either.
He's fine.
He's fine, isn't?
He's an interesting guy. He's fine.
He's fine. No, but so that's interesting. That's a good wine. That's from what I hear. We're drinking a 2019 tonight as well, right?
Yeah.
Good year.
This is 28. This is 2018.
Oh,
so this is more
vintage.
That's more vintage.
Very fancy.
That's right. It's hard to get this. Had to go to Super Target for this.
We're pre-pandemic, but
Target.
he's pre-pandemic. That's the primo wine. That's the wine you want. Well, no, this is great. Yeah, it's interesting to try pairing wine with a horror movie. We haven't done it yet, so it's a good first for our first episode of season 4. Oh hell yeah! I think we're getting ready to get into
this movie.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm very excited again. I probably first saw this in 2005, 2006, and immediately just really, really enjoyed it because it wasn't like any Vincent Price movie I'd seen before, and I think you'll like it a lot more than The Bat. I can confidently say that. I know I've overstated some of my predictions before, but I can tell you I'm not overstating that. So. Yeah, I think Fresh, you got it queued up.
Yes, sir.
All right, then we are going to get into The Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price, right now.
Man, the very loud lion scared me at the beginning of this video.
Yeah, this is the very loud lion that only you saw and nobody else.
What city is this?
So, Evan, do you remember where the story is set?
I don't, actually.
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So this is supposed to be Los Angeles. Do you want me to go ahead and tell you, or do you want a little more time to guess?
No, I'm not going to guess. I have no idea.
Wait, is it Italian?
It's Rome, Italy. Yeah, it's Rome.
Okay.
Vincent Price was like, that was the problem. Trying to make Rome look like LA.
It looks very European.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even swap any of the cars out.
No. Hey, at least that's just dead bodies everywhere, man.
Wow,
LA. That looks like an LA house, man.
Well, this is just what LA looks like nowadays, I think.
2022 LA looks like 1950s Rome.
So it's supposed to take place, this movie takes place in 1968, but I think the story takes place in the 70s.
Another day to live through. Better get started.
So yes, this is an Italian co-production, so it's shot in Italy. Vincent Price is the only American cast member. I think everybody else is Italian or European.
Last man on Earth. All you can eat is pizza and spaghetti for the rest of your life.
Beans and Franks. Franks and beans. That's it.
December 1965. Is that all it has been since I inherited the world? Only 3 years.
He's not crushed at all by the fact that he's like, is that how long it's been?
He's jaded Vincent Price.
But he's not. He's like so up.
I'm so jaded.
I'm so...
It's maybe a little hard to believe when he says that.
So defeated.
So Logan Swanson is Richard Matheson's pen name. He didn't want to be credited because he was unhappy with the changes they made to his original script and with just kind of the results in general. Little Jenny Boffa.
As we say in the biz.
As we say in the biz, little Jenny Boffa. Many a time do I remember filling it, just, you know, getting out the can of gasoline. Little Jenny Boffa needs a little more gasoline.
Classic Italian. First scene, he's walking into his garage to work on the car.
Yep, classic. So this was made in 1964, or it was released in 64.
More of them for the pit. Every day there are more of them. They live off the weak ones and leave them for the pit.
Was that coffee? Coffee?
Got a pot of fucking coffee here. Anybody want a fucking cup?
A little bit of coffee.
Yeah, a lot of time to work on the ham radio.
AOKW calling. Come in.
In the end times.
Well, you know. When it's the end of the world, you know.
Finally, she's not breathing down my freaking neck. I can work on my ham radio.
You can broadcast whatever you want.
AOKW calling.
No censors.
I'm on
Pirate
international
radio.
frequency.
I'm gonna play
Come
music
in.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
And no one's gonna hear it. I love that. Is anybody there? No, they're all dead.
Yeah, I mean, you know. in that day and age, when you're the last man on Earth, I mean, you're just struggling. You're just finding any reason to hang on for hope. But he didn't have a DVD player or any kind of technology.
And his comics
could have written it out.
And his Netflix doesn't even work.
Right.
The movie volume, as things of the volume needs to be turned up a little bit.
I did. I turned it up.
Okay. It doesn't help that Vincent Price can't project worth the fuck.
No, he's not.
Just fuel for survival. I'll settle for coffee and orange juice this morning. But first,
that's a hell of a fridge.
I'd better
That's a fridge?
I think so.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
It's one of those like 60s fridges of the future.
Retro
Pretty much.
futurism.
Size of a giant computer back in the day.
Lots more. Better stop off and get them.
I find it hard to believe that even 3 years later he's gonna be able to find fresh garlic anywhere.
I think in the book he grows it. He has a big garlic garden.
Makes sense.
I mean, they're in Italy. Of course, he has a garlic garden.
Yeah.
I can't afford the luxury of anger. Anger can make me vulnerable. It can destroy my reason, and reason's the only advantage I have over them. I've got to find where they hide during the day. Uncover every one of them. Now, where did I finish off yesterday? Madison Street to 31st.
Oh, that's badass.
11 kills.
He's just going across the whole fucking place.
You gotta just
and there's
take them out.
Systematic.
Half the city I haven't searched.
So I'm curious to know, and I didn't find this in any of my research today, whether or not this voiceover, it was always written with this voiceover in mind, or if he's just delivering this like after they shot the movie. They're like, we need you to explain some stuff, like.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Just wide enough to keep the flesh.
Because I could see them letting this play without him having to explain.
And how many more of these will I have?
But he's not saying anything. It'd be strange.
Well, but it's about what he's doing, though.
Their lives are mine.
I think I kind of like it with the voiceover. I think so much of like this story is just about how like inside himself
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because of the isolation.
That garlic. I'd better put it back where it belongs. I can't live a heartbeat away from hell and forget
It's a good line.
Yeah. Is that a real person?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
she's really good at being dead.
It is. Apparently, one of the facts I read on IMDb, which is can be dubious, but it said that
she is
he
good at being
requested that these be like real people, so it looked like he was really he's really having to put in the work. Yeah. It's not just him lifting dummies and throwing them in the car.
Well, they are pretty stupid.
What are you saying about Italians, bro? Oh, 100% a thing.
That means one more stop I'll have to make.
So I feel like that's some kind of old-fashioned hearse, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Which I guess makes
sense. No,
or is a station wagon.
Ghostbusters.
It's a Ghostbusters, yeah. That's what it is.
Which, I mean, that was a hearse.
I can get rid of them later.
But since it's
Right
vampires,
now,
it's painted
I'm out of
black.
gas.
That's how you know the difference. One's for ghosts and one's for vampires.
Time to fill up the tank. That gas would have all gone bad by now, bro. This story has so many holes.
Yeah, any like end of the world story I see, immediately they all get shot full of holes because of the gas. They always assume that the gas is.
They'll just have it. There's plenty lying around, right?
I've got a whole world full of inspired
Certainly,
gas.
as the world's ending, we're not going to also run out of gas. We'll just have it.
get that.
What, the gas mask? Probably from one of those trucks.
Does everyone in LA just have a gas mask?
Yes, everybody, with the smog there, dude, you have to. Come on. Feel bad for that actress not getting a gas mask.
Yeah. For getting
God
thrown
knows
into
what they're
this
actually
fiery pit.
burning. Oh. Now that was a dummy.
Yeah.
I hope. Wow, the EPA is going to have something to say about this.
Those emissions are way above standard regulations.
Great.
Yeah, that's what happens.
If I think the world actually was ending, everything would be depleted. Like,
probably, I guess. How fast?
Like the supermarket shelves wouldn't just be full.
How fast did the vampire plague or whatever it is spread across the world? Was there nobody scrambling for this food?
We'll find out.
If it was instant for some reason, I guess it would still be here. But I mean, after so many days, like, he would eat it all.
Yeah. How long do you think it would take you to eat an entire supermarket?
That's a good question.
Depends on the supermarket, and how bored I am.
Yeah. Just boredom eating because you're the last person on the planet. Yeah, the perishables would go.
Oh, dude, all that meat
this would all still be good. This would be
good.
good.
My God.
Totally good. Well, I mean, I imagine it. If it's in a meat freezer, do you think it can stay good over 3 years?
Well, I mean, it's not so cold that there's ice on anything.
What I need.
I mean, even if he had like a generator, can you put what is this, like a side of beef? Can you put something like this in a freezer for 3 years?
I don't know.
Just go bad as
I've got my garlic from the supermarket.
When you're playing DayZ, you gotta put a bunch of salt on it to preserve it, so it's probably what he's doing.
Oh, okay, well, there we go.
Yeah, it's a video game.
Yeah.
It's a video game movie.
He's gonna watch out, you're gonna get shot by a Russian.
They can wait too. I've got my life to worry about. Those mirrors
So
have
over
to be
here running
replaced
over
before
bodies.
dark.
Oh yes, the old mirror store.
Well, come on now.
How's the mirror business this season, Bob?
Well, it wasn't really a good idea when we decided to set up in this town full of vampires. Really bad business decision on our part.
Square blocks to
Like kicking myself in the balls for that decision.
Say location.
Having a big sale, Reflectober.
Look, I've got a great top salesman.
Okay.
That was a really,
right.
Do you see how much conviction
that was a
he put
really
into that-
limp
to that?
hammering.
Yeah. Well, they're just like paper mache.
Kinda want you to die.
Yeah, they're just like paper mache. That's
So these are like zombie vampires.
yes,
Yeah.
they are. That's the thing is they're called vampires, but they're really kind of more like zombies, honestly.
Yeah, how much personality are we gonna see out of these? 'Cause that was kind of a thing in the story.
That's right. As Evan knows from reading the book, the creatures in the book are much more.
I haven't much time left.
They're quick. They're agile. They
They talk.
They talk, and you'll see that things open up a little bit here later on, but for the most part, these most, you know, the main creatures are kind of portrayed as almost, in this film, what we would consider zombie-like. But there's a reason for that, and I'll talk more about that a little later on. But it does. There's some crossover with zombies and vampires here.
Why does he need new garlic?
Well, because the old stuff's not fresh anymore.
It doesn't smell garlicky anymore.
Vincent Price.
Nothing else in this movie decomposes. Fuck it.
And now, 12 long hours before the sun will rise and drive them back to darkness.
Dude, I want like a really long audio file of Vincent Price just talking so I can go to sleep.
Yeah, just Vincent Price ASMR.
Yeah.
Planks and tire irons. Those are deadliest weapons for a vampire.
Zombies
come out and play.
We hear the smooth jazz, Vincent.
Come out! Come out!
Yeah, they're really attracted to the sounds of smooth jazz.
Come out!
Wait, is he making a Molotov or does he just really want to drink?
He just really wants to drink.
Wow, he don't give a fuck.
I mean, if you've been doing this every night for 3 years, I mean, you gotta find some way to spice it up. Break up the monotony.
I've never fought them away drunk.
That's really what I'm missing. That's the key to me solving the problem.
Mom, I can't see! I can't see! Mom!
Another day. Another day to start all over again.
Like that shot.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Nice. Totally a model. Fucking Groundhog Day over here. Get ready to do it all over again.
It's Groundhog Day, except you murder people all day.
I wake up every morning, not a dent in the fender. Man, he does this. Dude, I would literally blow my brains out. I had to do this every day.
At a certain point.
Like, what's the point in surviving?
He is going through a crisis.
He's in a rut. He's having a midlife crisis.
Yep. Having a crisis.
Fuck this, I'm gonna go buy a Mustang.
I've got the money saved up.
Yeah, too many crucifixes to be LA.
Jesus.
Definitely Italy.
We all know LA is a godless hellhole.
Is that his wife?
Huh?
Is that his wife?
My wife. Yes.
My wife.
That is, yeah. Had to. We get one. We get one Borat. We get one My Wife. That was it. We used it. It's been used.
He said it out loud. Hasn't said anything out loud yet.
Oh yeah.
I guess he hasn't yet. Well, he talked on the radio, but that was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
His whopping second line. Fell asleep.
Oh damn! My alarm didn't go off.
The sun's already set. They'll be everywhere.
No. Wait, why is he leaving? People are dying to get in there.
Oh
no.
These vampires don't really seem that formidable.
No, they're really not. Again, they're like paper mache. They probably weigh 25 pounds.
He's fighting them off with his bare hands.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so scared.
Yeah, like
he's like, get out of here, and they're like, okay.
It's kind of a like an inconvenience.
Yeah. This is a social commentary on the homelessness problem in LA.
Yep.
This is just what it's like trying to eat groceries.
It's Morgan. Get him.
Hey, they can talk.
Yeah,
or at least one can talk.
Javelin.
What was he even doing? Look him pull right up to the door, bro. Nice.
Why doesn't he just like do DoorDash or something?
They don't like looking at themselves.
Same. This would also defeat me. You're God.
You guys think that was a cut?
No.
To hell with it.
I don't care about pirate radio anymore.
I've given up on my dream. So yeah, I mean, again, like their behavior is much more zombie-like, like in the Romero sense of a zombie, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen any blood sucking.
No blood sucking yet.
This is a very crisp projector.
Right? Yeah. He paid good money for that.
This is OLED.
He got the best one in the store.
Yeah, well, it got a little less crisp there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is it supposed to be on the wall?
Yes.
Here it is. It's a pre-roll shot right there.
It is. Yep. Good eye. That is. That is from the opening credits of the show. He said it. He said the thing.
He said, "Wow, I really am legend."
That's why I knew I was the last man on Earth.
We're coming up on break.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Fresh.
Morgan. Do you hear, Morgan? Morgan.
Yeah, give him a piece of your mind, Vincent.
Morgan.
Yeah. No taxation without representation.
3 years.
We're not breaking this picket line.
No, but we are going to break right now.
Nice segue.
That is our first. Yes, very good. Well, we had to break it. We had to break the picket line. But they certainly
A bunch of scabs.
These vampire zombies out here picketing and making a lot of commotion and showing up every night, fighting for fairness and equality, a fair wage. Fair vampire wage.
Zombie or vampire rights.
Yeah, zombie vampire rights. Yeah.
This is such a strange monster. It's like vampires that already been like solidified. Like people knew what a vampire was by this time.
Right.
And it's still very vague.
Right. And so that's the thing. We're the next part of the movie is going to get a little bit more into the origins of how people became vampires and what actually is going on. I think that's where, as far as addressing the whole tropes of vampires in a new way, like in different ways, I think that's where it starts to get to really do that. So it kind of picks up steam in that respect. Again, like here so far, we've gotten what seems like, very zombie-like vampires. And this is actually 4 years before Night of the Living Dead. And George Romero said that not only was the book like an inspiration for the story that he came up with for Night of the Living Dead, but that this movie in particular, the look and the behavior of the vampires in this movie inspired the look and the behavior of the zombies in Night of the Living Dead.
Wow.
So there is like...
So he just stole that whole thing.
Yeah, George Romero basically he read the book, he saw this movie, and he just kind of came up with this other thing, ghouls, flesh eaters, instead of vampires. And he really did just kind of do his own thing with it. And that was really one of the first things that struck me when I first watched this movie, was the way that these vampires I was immediately reminded of Night of the Living Dead. So it's interesting that it does this in 1964, 4 years earlier. But this movie was very much, this is coming like already kind of late in Vincent Price. Not late, but Vincent Price is pretty much in the middle of his horror career at this point. I mean, he was not the first. Well, he wasn't the ideal choice for this role. Richard Matheson did not like.
That was. I was surprised. Like, I knew that there were a few adaptations of I Am Legend, but I didn't realize that Vincent Price was the first.
Right.
Like, that's not who I would think of for the. what is the character's name? It was like
In-
Neville or
Yeah,
Connor.
in the novel and in the other movies, he's Robert Neville.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
it.
in this, he's Robert Morgan, which I don't know why they had to change the name to Morgan, but they did. But that was the thing. I mean, they originally, as early as 1957, they were going to adapt this into a horror movie, and it was actually Hammer Films, the studio that made the Frankenstein and Dracula movies and color in Britain in the 60s and the 70s and the 50s a little bit. They were going to originally adapt this, and Fritz Lang was supposed to be the director, and Fritz Lang is the guy who made Metropolis, which is a classic, and M, and he made all these other classic movies, and he was originally supposed to be the director, and the Hammer was going to produce it, and then the British censors said, no, you can't make this. This is too gruesome.
Wow.
So they sold the rights to an American producer that they did business with named Robert Lippert. And Lippert was the one who ended up making it a co-production. And I think Price probably was cast because the studio that ended up, or the company that ended up distributing the film was American International Pictures. And they had Vincent Price under contract. So a lot of times,
So he was in the stable at the time.
that happened a lot of times. Again, remember when we were talking about She Beast and how that director for one of his later movies had to use Vincent Price, and he was really mad about having to use Vincent Price? It was because the studio that was distributing the movie was AIP, and AIP said, well, we've got Vincent under contract, so you have to use Vincent. So that happened a lot. It even happened.
Can we not use them? You gotta use
No,
them.
you have to.
It even
You
happened
have
in one of these trailers that we're going to see. The first one, I believe, that we're going to see, which is for a Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe movie that Roger Corman did. It's The Tomb of Ligeia, and it's actually the last one that they did. And Corman did not want to use Vincent Price. He thought Vincent Price was too old for the role. And AIP said, well, you have to use him. And and I was
So we're making a hot summer teen rom-com. You got to use Vincent Price.
Well, that's going to be the second trailer that we're
Oh,
see.
no.
It's basically,
Oh, no.
it's not quite a
Dear God,
teen
no.
rom-com, but it's a spy rom-com. It's
Oh,
Dr.
boy.
Goldfoot in the Bikini Machine, and he plays Dr. Goldfoot, who is like a super villain trying to take over the world. But it's all campy. It's ridiculous, over the
Please,
top.
say that title again, please.
Dr. Goldfoot in the Bikini Machine. Yeah, it's
Sounds like
ridiculous.
a funk band.
It does sound like a funk band. Well, there's a whole theme song by the Supremes. You're gonna hear it in the trailer. It's another one of these long trailers. But that's the thing. Like, these were both for the studio American International Pictures. They're the same ones that did the Beach Party movies and the Ghost in the Visible Bikini movie that we saw the trailer for with Boris Karloff. That was the studio. They did a lot of. They did all the Edgar Allan Poe, Vincent Price movies. They did these cheesy beach party movies, which Dr. Goldfoot is kind of an offshoot of, but it's a little more of a spy movie. So that's what we're kind of getting into, is, in these breaks also, is kind of looking at Vincent Price's career kind of around this time and after this. I mean, he pretty much was exclusive to AIP. So he did all kinds of different things. So we're going to see these two trailers for two very different movies. And then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting middle of The Last Man on Earth. So stick around. We will be right back.
My chair.
She will not die because she willed not to die.
Ligeia, the tale of terror Edgar Allan Poe thought his greatest. The masterfully macabre performance of Vincent Price together bring to life the undead, to haunt the living. What is the strange infatuation that draws a lady to the Stygian stranger who lives with his terrifying black cat? In a castle of dark, somber mystery.
Seeing you and seeing her.
Yet when you thought I was Lygia, you tried to attack me.
You must trust me. Give over your will to mine. No harm will come to you. Give over your will to mine.
The strangest love story ever told. Making her life a nightmare of heart-stopping horror, such as few humans have ever survived.
So that was the trailer for Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine.
We're pointing the fun finger at you.
Yeah,
America.
I don't like them saying they're trying to point any finger at me. I don't want any
They're pointing the gold finger at you.
pointed in my direction. Yeah, that movie is, I have only caught bits and pieces of it. I've never watched it all the way through because it's not really those AIP comedies are just not, it's not like the Ritz Brothers.
Not your cup of oil.
It's like the Ritz Brothers times 5. It's not, it's just,
Whoa!
you guys wouldn't get, although I think, so there's 2 other Dr. Goldfoot movies. I think one of them might be public domain.
It's a trilogy?
Yeah, I think one of them was like filmed in Italy or something, and it's public. I don't know. I gotta look into it.
Dr. Goldfoot and the Chamber of Secrets.
It's, what is it? There's Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs, and then there's another. I can't remember what the other one's called. Maybe the Wild World of Dr. Goldfoot. I don't know. It was weird shit. But Vincent Price definitely. I mean, he was lucky, a lot luckier than a lot of other actors at that time. I mean, at least he was getting the chance to do some pretty ridiculous broad comedy and some, for the most part, pretty like straight, if not very over the top horror.
Broad comedy.
Very broad comedy.
Look at all those broads.
For women.
Broads for women. Comedy for women. No, I mean, he... I don't know. Vincent Price definitely, I don't think he saw himself kind of acting in some of the things. Like, he didn't see his career going where he'd be acting and things like that for AIP. But I think he was happy to have the work, happy to do it. I don't think he was complaining because he was getting the chance to travel. And he was getting the chance to, like, again, for tonight's movie, he was in Rome. He was
if somebody gives you...
a free...
So you have to come shoot this this vampire zombie movie, but you get to come to Rome.
You get to come to Rome. Oh, well, okay, I'll do it. A lot of actors have made especially a lot of those old Hollywood actors in like the 70s and 80s made a lot of terrible movies, B movies, cult movies, because overseas, because it was a trip to some country. Like, all they had to do was go act for a couple days. I showed some of you guys that movie Tentacles, where it was like Shelley Winters and John Huston and all these old Hollywood people. Like, again, they got a chance to go to Italy. So they just acted in this terrible, terrible movie, and not really giving a fuck.
It sounds like pulling the producers scam, but it's just for a vacation.
It's essentially what it is. It's essentially what happened many, many times with these old actors, and I mean, Vincent Price, at this time in the mid 60s, was just kind of at the height of having fun with his career. He wasn't winding down. yet.
He was the master of Macabre.
He was the master of the Macabre at this time, without a doubt. And he was also acting in a lot of, like, you know, again, he
street
was
corn connoisseur.
Yes.
Say what you said on the break.
What did you say?
Master corn on the Macabre.
Oh my God, I love that. Yes. Corn on the Macabre. Yeah, I love that.
Can I have some corn on the Macabre, please?
Excuse me? You want what?
It's what they serve in October at the K&W cafeteria.
Right. Yes. You just give all their foods spooky names. That would be great. It would make it so much more fun. What do you call the Jello? You know, what's the blob?
Yeah, the blob.
Get some of the blob.
Can I get some Jello, please? No, you have to say it. Can I get some of the orange ectoplasm, please?
There it is.
God, yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. If only. Well, I think we're getting ready to get back into the exciting middle of Last Man on Earth. Vincent Price is getting ready to go into a flashback. So get ready to get
fair warning.
Yeah, well, you know. Hopefully this answers some questions. Hopefully. But we're about to find out right now.
Hey, Verge.
Yes? Oh no, my makeup, my hair.
Hey, where is everybody? All I can see
Hi,
is...
Ben.
Oh.
I can hear children, but I can't see any children.
Uncle Ben! Uncle Ben!
Uncle Ben.
I can't see any children over the stack of buying your love.
I think he just brought rice.
Ooh, come.
It's just what I wanted, rice.
Thank you, Uncle Ben.
Oh my gosh. There it is. Boom.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, don't tell him about it. Fold it up and put it in your pocket and hand it to him and make him read it.
It's highly theoretical, Ben.
Theoretical?
Says everybody is tearing out pieces of newspaper, putting it in their pocket, and taking it to their less informed friend. It's good to know. That's how news got spread back in the day.
On the wind. Is it, Ben?
Just like COVID, no one's concerned.
Yeah, they're still having their
birthday party. Yeah.
Is that what you really think, or just what you'd like to think?
I cannot accept half-baked theories that sell newspapers. I'm a scientist, not an alarmist.
You're whistling past the graveyard.
Is that a commentary on my work at the lab?
We both know how hard you've worked.
I'm sorry, Ben. I just can't accept the idea of universal disease.
Uncle Ben, you promised y'all's cartridge.
All right, Kathy. Who can resist that face?
What is he saying? Wait, what? He's a scientist, but he rejects the idea of universal disease?
Robert,
he knows pandemics have happened before.
Is it possible this germ or virus could be airborne?
Anything is possible, Verge.
That's
best
scientist
brains in
talk
the world have been running through this thing with a fine-tooth comb. The germ is visible under a microscope, but is not like any bacilli I ever know.
This dude's gonna blow the lid off this whole plague situation, and he has some supplements to sell you.
It can't be destroyed by any process we've been able to uncover.
But with the whole world trying, there must be a solution.
Hey, Mommy, when are you gonna cut the cake?
Right now, our problem is to cut that cake.
That's why he has a ham radio. He's doing Infowars.fm.
Right. Yeah. Don't believe what you read in the newspapers. There's no such thing as universal disease.
Cut price Polaris Force.
Ooh. I've been looking for a cut price Polaris Force.
Uh-oh, it's carried by the wind.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
That is a little much. That is a little much. I think it would be carried by the wind across the ocean.
All the fish got sick first.
All the fish.
Be safe. She's
You
under the
telling me it
mosquito
was
net.
waterborne before it was airborne?
You'll be fine, honey. Put this paper mask on and wear it wrong.
I said wear it.
Put it over your nose.
The wind wake you up?
It always does.
How do you feel?
I'm all right.
Oh, don't get up, honey.
I'm not sick, Bob. I'll make
You don't
breakfast.
have to.
I'll be all right. Go on and read your paper.
All right.
Obviously, this guy hasn't heard a little song called Blowing in the Wind. Because if he did, he'd know that the answer to this problem is blowing in it.
What?
I think the original title for that song was "Pissing in the Wind."
Oh yeah, that's yeah, that makes sense.
Pissing into the wind.
Makes much more sense.
All we are is piss in the wind.
Oh God. Ah, it's everywhere.
Oh my God, it got on me. Slow down.
Please go back to bed.
I'm just a little tired, that's all.
What did you eat? Asparagus?
Dear God.
It's all we're working on at the lab, Verge. Maybe you better not send her to school today.
He's working on it in the lab, dude. Look at all the parallels.
You think you should go to work?
I have to.
Oh, Bob. Bob. I'm so frightened.
Everything's gonna be all
I'm
right.
so frightened, Bob. It's okay, honey. I'm immune.
Don't worry, honey. I'll be fine.
I'll be just fine.
It's the pack of camels a day that are gonna save him.
A pack a day keeps the doctor away.
Well?
The bacilli are multiplying.
That kicks the bone marrow theory in the head.
This specimen shows a higher white count than when I put it on the slide. Those cells are still living, Dr. Mercer, off one another.
There has to be an answer. You heard that all communications are ended outside the continental limits?
Yes, I heard.
That leaves it in our laps. So we keep trying. Where's Cortman?
Well, he should be here by now.
You two stay on this virus theory until I decide it's exhausted.
Right.
And nothing works. The streets are swarming with truckloads of bodies that they're throwing into that god-awful pit.
Swarming.
And the dedicated Dr. Mercer goes on with his plodding, unimaginative approach.
You have a better idea?
Maybe. At least it involves imagination.
Ben, it's as simple as this. An unknown germ is being blown around the world. It's highly contagious and it's reached plague proportions.
And you don't believe some of the dead have come back?
Now let's get to work.
And why are they burning the bodies? Why don't they bury them?
Because it's the best known way to control the contagion, to keep the germ from spreading.
That's what we've always believed at any rate.
Brutal.
You'd prefer us to believe in vampires?
If they exist, yes. There are stories being told, Bob.
By people who are out of their minds with fear.
Maybe. I don't believe in universal
disease.
I don't believe in vampires.
Stories
I'm a rational man of science.
and have come back.
They're stories, Ben. Stories.
I know
No. He's
Now,
not
is
a
this bacilli,
truther.
isn't it?
It doesn't alter.
And this bacilli is found in the blood
You know
of
what he
every
is,
infected
though?
person, or isn't it?
What?
To
A
show
Gemini.
returns is not to refute these stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
If there
he's,
are vampires, they exist in spite of these germs.
you know, we were talking about
Come on, let's get
Vincent
to
Price's life.
Yes.
And I found out he's a Gemini.
I did not know that. Okay.
You want to know what Vincent Price's horoscope is for today?
What?
Around-the-clock coverage of this national disaster.
It says he should be
now,
filled with tremendous
we switch you to the
energy.
state capitol, where
His sense of
Excellency,
adventure
the
is
governor,
high. There's very
is
little that
speaking
gets
from
fenced
the
down.
executive mansion.
One difficult to deal with area right now is love.
Declared this state to be a disaster area.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The spirit of Vincent Price dealing with a lot today. Who
You
knew?
must notify the health department
My goodness.
immediately.
If you have a plague victim in your home, under no circumstances should you gather publicly. In view of the dire emergency that exists, I intend to...
Yeah, Vincent Price.
Anything new?
What
No, nothing
a
new.
character.
What a fucking Gemini, am I right, guys?
Yeah, am I right? Just like a Gemini.
Well, I don't know. What are some of the
fucking-
characterists of a Gemini? What do people
That's a
say
good
about
question.
Gemini? Does anybody know? I don't know.
So Gemini, have you guys heard about this? Gemini?
Get off the stage.
Mommy, I can't sing.
I'm going to call the
What?
doctor.
Gemini? Jim and who? Who was I with
my
named
God,
Jim?
no.
Birds, there's nothing they
Not
can
doing
do.
who's
Always
on
talking
first
about
pitch.
Gemini. I don't even know a
This way she
fucking
has a
Jim.
chance. If you call a doctor, he'll report it. Do you want that?
I feel like
Oh,
so
don't feel
looking up
reported.
zodiac stuff always feels just super dubious in general.
Mommy.
I feel like
It is.
the qualities of a Gemini are probably going to vary like
How can you be so sure she's...
Blindness is one of the symptoms.
person or like site to site.
You're not to call a doctor
Right.
under any
But
circumstances.
this claims Geminis are
No one
clear
is to come into this
communicators,
house. Now remember that.
very lucky,
Mommy.
fast learners.
Mommy.
They love to go with the
Mommy,
flow.
where are you?
They're quick-witted.
I've got to pick Ben Cortland up on the way
They're
to
quick to answer.
the lab.
So I guess
No one is to
Vincent,
come into
he's,
this
he's
house.
confident.
Now remember
But they
that.
change their mind too often, and they tend to overthink things. Do you think this is? Do you think that?
I think that
applies
sums him up.
to-
I
to
think
Vinny
a lot
here?
of those sum him up pretty well.
Okay, well,
honestly.
maybe it's real. But
Could be.
I
True
think that sums
Gemini.
humans up pretty well.
Vincent Price, true Gemini, maybe. Could be. Could be. Couple of, I mean, did you know that he studied art history at Yale?
I know he went to Yale.
Yeah, yes. He went to Yale. He's a big time connoisseur of art and art history. He in the I think it was late 50s, early 60s, curated a whole art collection for Sears Roebuck. Like they hired him to do the Vincent Price collection, and it was all like prints of like all-time great artists, like paintings that they hired him to curate.
Was it for the Sears family or for
Sears
the company?
Roebuck Company?
Why does the company have a bunch of art?
Because the company used to just sell everything. Sears Roebuck used to be
there?
like a Costco
It's
back
me,
in the day.
Ben.
Like,
Okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. So, the art that they're selling, not the art
prints.
that they.
They're not
Ben,
that
what's
they've
the matter with
collected and they've got like a museum.
Nothing, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Ben,
Like a
look, let's talk about
commercial
There's nothing to
print
talk
collection.
about. You think I'm out of my mind. You laughed at me and my theory. You might be one of them.
Ben, look, you're ill. You ought to see a doctor.
No doctors. You take care of your life, I'll take care of mine. Now get away from
He
here.
also obviously bought and collected a
You
lot
understand?
of
Get
paintings
away from
too.
here.
Had like Picasso's and Goya painting, like a bunch of famous works. Eventually a museum. There was,
He owned a museum.
He didn't. There was like a university that he like lent a lot of his works to, and then I think they ended up naming it later like the Vincent Price like, Gallery or something like
that. That is probably nothing.
Nothing to be concerned about. I'll
Back
just
to
turn
work.
right here. Lab's looking pretty empty. Scientists are slacking.
Look at all these machines. All these fancy machines.
If you're looking for anybody but me, forget it.
I'm the last man in this office.
I'm the last scientist on Earth.
Are they all gone?
Not quite.
There could be only one.
No, not yet. But believe
Now
me, Logan,
I'm the greatest
we'll find it.
scientist on
When,
Earth.
Doctor? We need it right now. I need it.
You're the only one who wasn't afraid to come here today.
What's going to happen, Dr. Mercer? Is everybody in the world going to die before someone finds the answer?
No, I don't think so. I don't deny there's some strange
We're gonna start
evolutionary
Operation
process
Warp
going
Speed.
on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
So have you guys like felt like the dubbing has been pretty bad? Or have you
Yeah, I've
noticed
been
it?
noticing some dubbing.
It feels like I'm watching a movie with profanity on cable TV.
I think they shot most of it without sound.
I thought that last guy was gonna have a kung fu fight with Vincent Price.
When they were talking in the lab, it sounds like they're in like an empty bathroom.
It does.
There's so much echo.
Atmosphere.
Damn, she's on one.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
When? When?
I called a doctor. I had to.
I told you not to call anyone.
Mom, she was blind. She couldn't see. She kept reaching out her hands, groping for me. Then, all of a sudden, she was gone.
You see, I felt like I could see her breath. Did you see that?
When they came in,
How cold is it in this?
Vincent Price apparently said it was a very cold shoot. He said he paid
I
his
can see it now that you said it.
He said he paid his driver to like leave like the car running so that like they had heat so that he could like go get in the car to like, you know, change. I'm like, no
Fuck
trailers.
this, I'm gonna go get in the car.
It's cold
Yeah.
winters.
Huh?
Does Rome have cold winters?
Apparently it was cold. That was what Vincent Price said later. It was really cold.
Let that truck through. Get out of the way. Get back, folks. Nobody's allowed out there.
We want to see a burning
All of
man.
you, get behind those
Burning Man. We're here for Burning Man.
I brought a sixer. I got my best tie-dye shirt.
Hey, you, mister! Come back! Come back!
Got a couple doobies rolled up, ready to go.
Had a like a spike-studded leather wristband.
Yeah, because fuck the man.
Come in from Market Street. I said, did this truck just come in from Market Street?
Mister, I don't know.
You don't
really
know. You're
bad
driving the
directions.
fucking truck.
I'm horrible with
I was just
directions.
following the other guys.
I feel like that looks cold.
Yeah, it does look cold.
Hey, you don't belong in here. Get out.
I want to help.
I said get
You
out.
don't belong. Throw him in the pit.
Give me back my daughter. Full on Liam Neeson mode right now.
Yeah. I want my family back. Oh, they missed.
That's what this is, essentially. It's a Liam Neeson movie. Pretty Liam
Dude,
Neeson.
if they had done this,
I want
COVID
my
would have been
family.
over.
They just started burning people.
2 weeks back, the shit would have been done.
Yeah, maybe that's how we should have solved COVID. Started burning people in burn pits.
Oh, he
right?
coughed. Burn him.
Time for the burn pit.
So does
I'm
it
sure
make
she'll
them
be fine.
Does it make them blind? The
think-
vampires is blind?
No
Is that why they're
way.
so?
Why they're so horrible?
Yeah, I guess his daughter was blind.
Yeah, but when they're zombies, I don't know if or vampires, I don't know if they're blind.
Oh, maybe when they come back. Yeah, that's a good point.
Zombies, vampires. Fuck.
Keep getting them mixed up. I forget which movie I'm writing. So Matheson wrote the original screenplay for this.
Right.
Were the changes to the monsters his choice, or was that the studio?
I wouldn't think so. I think that would have more to do with the studio and also maybe the budget.
No.
That whatever Matheson had written the creatures to be like, it was much cheaper to do it this way.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is pretty cheap. They just you give them like half of a 2x4 and rip their shirt a little bit.
Put some black circles under their eyes, cake them in white makeup, which is again essentially what Romero did. He just looked at this and he just got more effective
Mr.
results.
Steelio look.
Again, Romero wasn't working with fucking super ultra widescreen. He had, 4:3 fucking 35mm film going, not this
Super mega duper
cinema
widescreen.
scope. Yeah, widescreen.
You better get out of the fucking shot. You don't think you're in it, but you're in
I mean, the producer of this, I think he had like a lot of connections over at Fox, which they were the ones who did the CinemaScope process. So I think it probably wasn't too hard for them to get this capability. But this wasn't, Fox was gonna produce it when it was, or talked about producing it when it was I Am Legend, but they never picked it up. So then Lippert just did it himself with Italy. I love how he's, he's perfectly dressed to be doing some grave digging right now.
Right, yeah.
Perfect attire. Exactly what I would expect Vincent Price to wear.
Didn't get a speck of dirt on him.
On an unhallowed grave. These are my work clothes.
I want to see how many shovelfuls he gets in before they just cut. Oh, 2. Great.
With the most minimal effort possible.
Yeah, literally nothing. I'm gonna go back to my radio.
A little creepy.
Creepy.
Oh, I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
That is kind of creepy.
Who is it? Who's there?
It's like to the basement, right? It's not like outside.
I'm not sure. I think it's outside.
It'd be creepy as fuck if that was the
Or budget. Show that. Too much effort for Vincent Price.
Yeah, he can't be bothered to actually swing.
No, a mallet.
We're going to kill you, Morgan.
So you recognize the lead vampire now?
Oh yeah, that's Uncle Ben.
It's Uncle
Oh, okay.
Ben. Zatarans. No, that's
Yes, it's Zatarans.
Morgan. Do you hear, Morgan?
I can only tell it's him by the giant, cheesy, oversized suit. They're pissed he somehow made it out alive.
Yeah, we're gonna wreck the car.
They have enough of a conscience that they're mad that he's over here still alive.
Fuck you, Morgan.
Morgan, you son of a bitch! Why didn't you share the secret with us? It's all your fault. You're the last man, you fool.
Morgan, tell us the 11 herbs and spices. I'm not the colonel. Stop asking. Morgan.
Tell us, Morgan.
If Cortman thinks he can get to me by destroying my car, his wits are getting dull.
They just covered it in like sticks and twigs and shit.
Yeah, they
Gotcha, bitch.
They pulled a Children of the Corn. Just stuff
I
full of
can't
corn.
think of comfort. There was a time when I shopped for a
I wonder if I'm gonna get this car that looks exactly like my old one.
Would you describe Children of the Corn as corn on the macabre?
Yes. Yes. We're gonna have to make a list. That's definitely on it.
Who are you gonna call?
So did you just get the same car?
Yeah, it looked pretty much. That's why it's pointless to show him browsing. He's looking at all these sports cars. It's like, we know
what
you're
he's gonna
choosing that
get.
big hearse in the back.
You're stuck in a rut.
He said like I can't afford to go luxury because he needs like the functionality of the big car.
Well, yes, you'd like to go luxury, but can't do it.
He's not thinking Lamborghini.
Not quite.
It's alive.
Yeah, what are you thinking, Lamborghini? No, more hearse. You got something in that department?
Wait, don't run away.
Yeah, people are dying to ride in those.
If you guys have ever seen the movie Harold and Maude, the movie Harold and Maude, there's a great bit where the guy transforms a sports car into a hearse, basically. Like paints it all up, makes it look like a hearse. It's great. His mom is so
I have to
pissed.
search every street, every house, every alley, every inch of this town. I've got to find it.
Come back.
This looks like he's about to say there was time now.
Yeah. He's about to drop his glasses.
And there is.
He's about to spill the last bag of dog food.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Where are you, pal?
There was time now.
All the dog food in the world.
Fuck is that in the background?
A
That's
UFO.
Yeah, the UFO they have in Rome.
No, apparently it is some kind of UFO structure in Rome that was restored recent, like 10 years ago, something like that.
It's how the Pope goes back to space.
Right. The Pope's space mobile just parked in the middle of Rome. Everybody knows that.
The escape pod.
But these are
They've been staked.
that wood, like mine.
Oh, so something else is killing these, huh?
But
What
where
the
are
twist?
they? Where are they hiding?
There's a very Twilight Zone-y feel to all this.
Yeah.
And even in the budget, it's just like a feature-length Twilight Zone movie.
Where did they come from? Why haven't I seen them?
Or a feature-length Twilight Zone episode. Sorry.
This is Robert Morgan.
Time to go ham.
If somebody can hear me.
As we say in my AV club, I'm about to go
Say,
ham.
Answer me. This is KOKW calling. KOKW calling. Answer me.
Oh, he has his own call sign, dude. He's registered. This guy's for real.
Oh.
Dogs are immune. That's a data point.
That's a data point.
Lord.
So I think Richard Matheson maybe wrote a couple Twilight Zone episodes,
You
maybe.
finally decided to come back.
I could see that.
What's that? Robert's in trouble?
I heard your call. Sorry, I couldn't respond because I'm a dog.
Trouble in the grocery store?
This is WDOG.
All right, and that is going to take us to our second break. So, I'm interested to know, we're about 2/3 of the way into this. Evan,
It's pretty close, actually.
Really?
I think it hits. It's hitting a lot of the same notes.
Okay.
He's not quite as like deranged, I would almost say. Like he's sad about it, but I feel like the other adaptations of this, they lean maybe a little more into that.
Yeah.
Just the guy going completely nuts.
Right. Yeah, and the way that I saw a lot of the context that I saw a lot of the stuff that I was reading in the research for this was that idea of other versions, especially like the Heston version, kind of playing up the machoism of I'm the last man on earth and I'm a survivor and I have to do all this to survive.
Which, to be fair, actually was in, like, there was a little bit of that in, you know, the story.
Right.
Growing his whatever, and he's got a gun, he shoots the vampires.
Right. Right. And that definitely Omega Man went more that route. And so, yeah, here's a little more, I don't want to use the word subtle because it's certainly been plenty of not subtle things, but I do think there is some degree of just playing it differently, like playing it where he's a little bit more just kind of sad and depressed as opposed to
well, I think it has maybe to do with how like lame the monsters are in this one. Like they don't feel like they're that much of a threat. So it's his existence is more just like boring and sad than like tense and, you know, survival mode.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, they're just annoying in this one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again,
a yard full of annoying zombies. Oh my god, these guys again.
For as much of an inspiration as they were for the zombies in Night of the Living Dead, they don't have the same bite, if you will pardon the pun. They just they literally, I mean, they're not eating people, they're not tearing them apart, we're not watching,
they're just a nuisance.
Yeah, they're just kind of, he's just shoving them out of the way, and you know,
he just has shitty neighbors.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's just living the life we're all living right now. Not much different.
But I'm really interested to see where they're going to go with this, because, you know, the final act of the story is really, you know, the big part of it.
Right. That's what we're gearing up for, the final act. And yeah, it definitely, you know, I've seen it. It opens up more. I can definitely say that.
It's when things start happening.
Yeah. 2/3 of the way in.
Sad.
And, yeah, maybe that's a reflection of Richard Matheson writing the script. Like, come on, where's everything happening? Yeah, it's definitely gonna pick up in the last third of the movie, so that'll be good. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting though, kind of reflecting on the differences in the character Robert, you know, Morgan, Neville, whichever one you want to use.
Bob.
Yeah, it's interesting just reflecting on the difference and looking at Price as just kind of more, you know, he's just kind of, you know, not
Dewey?
sad.
Okay.
Wait, what were you going to say? What'd you say?
I just said Dewey.
Yeah,
Dewey
well,
now?
maybe that's a good word. Yeah, maybe that's a good way to put it. I mean, it's just, you know, I think it's definitely subtle compared to like other things that Vincent, believe it or not, like there's something about Vincent Price playing this subtle that is kind of like surprising to me, you know, that it is more
I'm glad
laid
it's
back.
not like super. I feel like Vincent Price is one of those characters like Nicolas Cage, where like
Yes.
if their dial is just turned up too much, they just turn into this like caricature of themselves.
100%. And no, you're 100% right, because that's essentially, again, like with Nicolas Cage now, I mean, that's essentially what happened to Vincent Price in his career. By the 1970s, he was essentially, most of his roles were satire, or they were a pastiche of movies that he had done earlier, and it was kind of with more of a tongue-in-cheek, a little bit more of a nod and a wink, and
A little bit more of a, hey, we're laughing at you because you're a crazy weirdo.
Exactly. And he leaned into it. And that was basically the early to mid 70s for him. His contract with AIP went until 1974, 1975. And you know, up until the end with them, he was making all different kinds of horror movies. They were basically pistaches, and like the best one, and I think the first one of the 70s, and definitely the best one that he did, is The Abominable Dr. Phibes. That's one of the trailers that we're going to see. It is a great, it's almost to me like a proto slasher movie, but it's even better than like a slasher, and it's campy, and it's not campy. It's just very tongue-in-cheek. It's not campy, but it's tongue-in-cheek. Vincent Price is definitely doing everything with a sly smile on his face the whole time, and he kind of like with every nefarious thing that he does. So it's you know, yeah, it is a little melodramatic, but it's fun. And then the other movie we're going to see is, I think it's the last movie that he did for American International Pictures. It is called Madhouse, and it is kind of more almost slasher in the way that there is like a murderer going around hacking people to death, and he's suspected. But that plays a little more that Vincent Price is playing a horror star whose career is fading, and he's being suspected of being a murderer. So,
well, hey, no such thing as bad press, right?
No, God, no. Vincent Price, happy to get. Well, and you know, again, when we come back from the break, I'll touch a little more on his later career, but no, for him, no press was bad press. He was happy to lean into making fun of being the creepy guy. So, we're gonna see these two trailers. And then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of The Last Man on Earth. So stick around. We'll be right back.
What lovely music for a murder, or 2, or 3, or 9.
Who's this?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet a dear friend.
9 killed you. 9 shall die.
Your wife, no, Phibes. But you I will kill.
But you can't, Doctor. I am already dead.
Here, how are we going to get him off this? You take his head, and I'll take his feet. Let's unscrew him.
Dr. Phibes, who samples the finer things of life. his own inimitable way, and experiments with fascinating instruments of death.
The what, sir? The guitar. The 10 curses visited upon the pharaohs before Exodus.
9 shall die, 9 eternities in doom.
The curse of boils, of bats. Frogs? Frogs, yes. And the curse of blood. Curse of hail in the bloody middle of nowhere.
Are you ready for Dr. Fives?
Probably the most terrifying motion picture you'll ever see.
All right, and we are back. So that was Madhouse, and before that there was Dr. Fives, which Madhouse is all right. Dr. Fives I absolutely love. It's like, I think it's a genius movie. It's amazing. It's just perfect. It's just set piece murder after set piece murder, and you know who's doing it. It's not like who's the murderer? I don't know. You know who it is the whole time. Now
sometimes it's fun to know that.
Well, now they unravel as you go, kind of, okay, who is this guy? Why is he doing this thing? But we know the whole time, obviously, it's Vincent Price. And he made a sequel to that movie that, again, American International, and then he did that. But 1975, he kind of really scaled back, and he stopped doing horror movies.
He started doing wine vinyls.
He did a lot of commercials. There's a Sun Country wine cooler commercial from the 80s that we've run a couple times before that he did. And but he so that was the thing. In the 70s, 80s, he started doing a lot of TV guest appearances, a lot of commercials.
He was on Scooby-Doo.
He was on 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo as Vincent Van Gogh. Before that, in the 80s, or in 1982, he had two kind of big things. Of course, everybody knows Thriller. He's the voice that speaks, that does the rap, as they call it, the Thriller rap.
He raps.
Vincent Price is the one who's rapping in
Spits
Thriller.
These hot bars on Thriller.
And
dude, Vincent Price spits fire.
So every Halloween, when you hear that song, that's Vincent Price who's spitting fire. I wish I could remember it off the top of my dome, but it's great. He had so much fun doing that. Well, no, apparently it was hard for him to get.
Oh wait, actually, he didn't have fun doing it.
Apparently, there was it was hard for him to get the rhythm.
Just kidding.
To get the rhythm of to read along and to recite to. The way that they wanted him to do it. It took a while to find it, but they said once he found it, then he was, then it was good. But
and he was really in the booth.
He was really in the booth, yeah. Well, I mean, he was. And then he does that laugh at the end, that cackle. He was great at that. But then the other thing he did that year was he narrated a short claymation film by Tim Burton called Vincent, and it's all about this kid who wants to be Vincent Price, and it is a great short. I wanted to show it tonight in the pre-roll, but obviously it's not public domain, so I thought about throwing caution to the wind and doing it anyway. I said no, I can't do that. That wouldn't be right.
We can't afford another strike now.
But no, I can't afford it now. But please go check out that short Vincent, because it's almost like a children's book.
Check out that short Vincent.
Yeah. Yes, that short Vincent.
We got Vincent. We got short Vincent.
Short Vincent. No, I mean it's classic Tim Burton though. It's black and white. It's all the weird kind of. I mean, it's exactly, and it's 1982, but it's same old Tim Burton.
It's about what you would expect.
100% what you would expect, and it's all this, Vincent Price is the narrator, and it's all this almost Dr. Seuss type rhyming. and about how he wants to boil his aunt in wax and all this. It's fun. I love it. It's so
just good, clean fun for the whole family.
Good, clean fun for the whole family, and it was cracking me up last night. I watched it. But yeah, so I mean, he really did. In the 80s, he had backed off of horror movie. He did a couple movies in the 80s, but those were very much like either comedies or parodies or not horror at all. He really he stopped kind of playing the villain after the 70s were done, which is kind of sad. And he's not playing the villain here. We're about to get into the exciting conclusion of The Last Man on Earth, and he's the hero. And he's about to be put in your classic kind of hero scenario, finally, because as both of my esteemed co-hosts pointed out, there haven't been too much threat, too many things for him to feel threatened by so far, because these zombies just are
he's just chilling.
He's just really chilling. So the conflict's about to get ramped up, so it's it's a good way to finish off your horror film. So we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of The Last Man on Earth. Evan has also poured us a glass of the second wine.
Yeah, we're trying a small glass label.
Yeah, what is
it's a 2020 wine. It's this is
even better.
A
even
young wine.
Better. The newer the year, the better the wine, right? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Right?
Young Wine.
That's
my rap name.
Yeah, he just came out of Atlanta.
Young. Yes, spelling young like that. Get it.
Yep.
Oh my
like Carl
God.
Young.
Yeah.
Smack you. All
Freud
right.
Wine.
Anything before we get into the conclusion, boys? Any predictions? Any?
That's good. That's a little less tart than the other one.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I think whatever is killing the other zombies is probably going to kill a Mr. Morgan here.
Okay, that's good. Interesting guess. What do you? Is you're nodding along? Do you agree with this, Evan?
Wait, no, wait. We don't want any spoilers. Evan knows.
Yeah, I know what I think is going to happen is what happens in the story. So
no spoilers.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
true.
know
Yeah,
if
it could be not.
It could be completely
happens.
different. The things have been.
I mean,
different.
it's setting it up to be a little different already, but I'm wondering if they're gonna go back the original way or if they're gonna kind of do their own thing.
Right. So Evan, won't tell us. We're
spoiler alert on this 1964 movie.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check it out now, now's your chance. As it's how many years? Fucking almost 60?
Almost 50 years. Right?
Over 50, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Almost 60. Yeah, you're
almost 60.
Right?
Yeah, so to hate to spoil this.
Can I
60
count?
Can I can't count or do math. I'm terrible at it. Not my
I think
thing.
in 2 years it'll be 50 years old. Right? Or 60. No, 60. God damn it, let's just start it.
All right, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of The Last Man on Earth right now.
I want to do a game show where people have to do like grade school homework.
Oh
do,
God,
math homework.
That sounds like I would quit mid game. That
do some
sounds
trigonometry.
Yeah.
Boo.
Got you all cleaned up. There you go. Rest. Oh.
You know why you can't do it? Because you never needed it.
Ooh.
When am I ever gonna use this?
You know they're out there, don't you?
Oh, he has a stockpile of steaks.
Yeah, man, you got to.
I mean, yeah, but it seemed like he woke up in the morning and made like 2 and then went out.
Everything's gonna be all right. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
I do not like how he talks, man. It's so unnatural.
All right.
Everything's going to be all
You're gonna
right.
get better. We're gonna have lots of happy times together.
Yeah, this
You'll
dog's
see, everything's
he looks
gonna be
freaked
fine.
out.
Yeah, it does.
Ima-
all these lights, all these people.
Imagine you meet the last man on Earth, but it's Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well,
Oh,
fuck
this
it. I guess
guy,
I'm just-
Mr. Creepy.
Damn it! I can't open the dog food on my own. I'm gonna have to just be friends with this guy.
Oh no, I've got shavings on my trousers.
I need to go change.
See, that's the thriller laugh.
Yeah,
He's good. He's good.
Okay, okay. My main question is, why is he still studying this?
You gotta. Oh shit!
Everyone's already
Ruthless,
dead.
dude.
I think probably because he would want to bring his wife back, if anybody.
Oh, if it's like reversible. I see.
God dang.
Damn,
Rough.
he killed the dog.
Yeah, dude. Rough.
Just pull the stake out. I mean, I know we have to have a visual that that's what he did, but jeez.
Nope. Gotta. If you take it out,
Burying
it's
him.
gonna come back to life.
That's so stupid. You can't take the stake out or it'll come back. I don't know who
leave it
invented
in.
this disease, but it has a lot of rules.
Oh shit.
She looks like someone from the Breakfast Club.
She does. She doesn't look
Wait, I'm not gonna
like an
hurt you.
Italian
Can't
at
you
all.
understand? Wait.
60s Italian movie actress, no way.
I'm not gonna hurt you. It says chasing after her.
Sprinting after this lady.
I'm not Mr. Creepy!
Wait. I'm not going to hurt you. Wait. 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 I couldn't be out here in the daylight if I was one of them. You know that they can't come out until sundown. Do you want to come with me or do you want to face them?
Wow. Meets the last woman on Earth, and he's like, "You want to come back to my place?"
Come with
Yeah,
me. I've got a
immediately.
bunker.
You look so much like my late wife.
Yeah, imagine you're the last woman on Earth, and you meet the last man on Earth, and it's Vincent.
Yeah, I think Will Smith's probably a better pick. It's a lot of containers for coffee. He just poured it out of the pot into a thing to pour into 2 cups.
Containers all the way down.
I hate it. I hate how much shit that people have to use to make tea and coffee.
She's gonna steal his silverware.
Wait, what did she have on her?
Yes,
I don't know.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
thank you.
God, he's so creepy, dude.
Got a cigarette, like,
You seem very well.
Just
dangling.
naturally super creepy.
My name is Ruth Collins.
Didn't ask.
I was married.
Didn't ask that.
I lost my husband.
So you're single.
You were married.
Yes.
Children.
A daughter.
Married with children. Cue laugh
Past
track.
tense.
Uh-oh.
Give her the garlic test.
Give her the garlic.
I got you a present.
Hey, hold this.
Can you hold this garlic for a second?
What are you doing?
You have to eat this.
Eat all this to prove you're not a vampire.
You're making me sick.
Why do you turn away? Why do you turn away?
I'm allergic.
You are infected.
No.
Infected systems are allergic to garlic.
You think I'm one of them?
Wow, okay.
Yep, you got it. You called it. You called it, Fresh.
You've made up your mind just because I...
You can't change the facts by talking.
Facts? What
Wow.
facts? That I got sick? I've had a sensitive stomach all my life. I saw my husband killed.
I just have
torn to pieces
IBS.
Right in front of our house.
I'm not a vampire.
I'm gluten-free, okay?
Hiding at night.
Where's your
Not eating
bathroom?
more than scraps.
Oh, jeez.
Sick with mourning. Sick with fear. Unable to sleep. Then you shout at me. You chased me across a field, hit me, dragged me to this house. And to top it all, when I get sick because you shove a piece of reeking garlic in my face, you tell me I'm infected.
You are infected.
Where are
Let
you
me
going?
go.
You can't go out there. It's almost sunset.
Let me go,
You
I
can't
said.
go out there now. In a few
I
minutes,
don't
the streets
care.
will be full
Let
of.
me go.
At
I don't
least let me give you a
care.
blood test.
Don't touch me.
Let me give you a blood test.
Come on, let me just hook you up to this shit and test your blood.
A blood test.
You must be hungry. I'll fix you some dinner.
The classic first date.
Let me fix you a sandwich. Sandwich, a blood test, and
I got
vampire
us 2
zombies.
vouchers for LabCorp.
You know, you should eat.
Oh, LabCorp's in town this weekend.
Front row seats.
You seem used to them.
Oh, as much as anybody could be. I'm not frightened of them anymore, if that's what you mean. Oh, I protect myself against them, but only because there's so many. Individually, they're weak, mentally incompetent, like animals after a long famine. If they weren't, they surely would have found a way of breaking in here a long time ago.
Come out, Morgan.
He says, I beg they break in.
Hear that? That's Ben Cortman. He was my friend.
Your friend?
He was like a kid brother. If I could find him and destroy him,
But you said he was your friend.
when I find him, I'll drive a stake through him just like all the others.
You can find him, he's right there.
Yeah, that's a good
But you
point.
lived through all this.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to just go outside and
Yeah,
stake
just
these
do
guys.
it.
I was chosen.
Yeah. When I figure out where he is.
Or perhaps it's
He's a
because
wily
long time ago when
bastard. I
worked in
can't
Panama,
find
I
him.
was being
Well,
immersed
I
in
figure out where his
vampires.
crash pad is
My
at. You
theory
better
is that
believe.
The bat had previously acquired the vampire germ. By the time it entered my blood, it had been strained and weakened by the bat system. As a result, I have immunity. Well, it's only a guess, but it's all I have to go.
He has immunity from a bat? Bro, this is COVID.
You don't think that I'm immune,
Maybe.
do you?
It's a simple matter to find out whether you are or not.
What
Definitely
These
not.
zombies are just dicks.
if I am infected? Cure me? You don't have to answer. I know as well as you do.
I know
It's incurable.
as well as you do.
There might be a
It's
way.
uncurable.
If not of killing the germ, at least of containing it, keeping it from spreading. If I had the equipment, the time.
Like if it's in your head, we just cut your head off and then it doesn't spread.
Problem solved.
Yeah, easy, contained.
Dr. Fauci over here.
Yeah, I think she's infected, bro. Oh no, she just has a problem.
She just had a serious problem.
She's just addicted to heroin.
You are one of them.
I was. And without that injection, I'll be one again.
What do you mean?
What is it?
You found a solution?
That's right. Exactly as you said it could be.
That's right, you heat it up in the spoon here. Yep, it's a solution.
The final solution.
Vaccine.
Oh no, Garrett.
Heroin's made of what?
It prevents it from multiplying. We've had it for some time now.
Wait, I missed what it was.
There are quite a number
We?
And I thought you were alone. I
thought you were the last woman on Earth. I was gonna bang you.
I was gonna cure you. I was gonna make you my wife.
I want the
Don't
truth.
say it.
Say it,
I
Garrett.
want all of it. Why are you here?
to find out if you know any more than we do. You know,
Why are you here? You forced her,
We're alive.
whatever.
Yeah.
Infected,
Yeah,
but
what?
alive.
It's just- you practically abducted this woman.
Society.
Pretty much.
Do away with all those wretched creatures who are neither alive nor dead. Start everything all over again.
And you want me to join?
You can't join us. You're a
can't
monster
join.
to them.
This club is
Why do you think I
exclusive.
ran when I saw you? Even though I was assigned to spy on you, because I was so terrified of what I'd heard about you. You're a legend in the city, moving by day instead of night.
She kind of said it.
Moving as evidence of your existence, bloodless corpses. Many of the people you destroyed were still alive. Many of them were loved ones of the people in my group.
Yeah, you get shit on.
No.
Is there any way you can get out of
You
here?
goofed.
What do you mean?
They're coming after you tonight. That's why I was sent here. To prevent you from resisting them. And supposed to keep you here. Until they come.
There's one way this is gonna go, see?
See?
Your new society sounds charming.
The beginning of any society
Charming.
is
That's
never
very
charming
Vincent
or
Price
gentle.
line.
And you pretended to be shocked at my violence. Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go on and use it? Get it over with. Use it. Get it over with.
Now you know. What are you going to do?
It's like I can't tell if the dramatic pauses are like, you know, organic, or it's just them trying to match the movement of the lips. They keep making these ridiculous pauses or throwing in some extra words.
Now he just unloads the gun into the back of her head. Roll credits.
Movie's over. Thanks for watching. Bye. Yo, what the fuck?
I'm very...
That's,
I don't understand the beaker with the tube sitting in it.
Yeah, this whole setup is,
I don't think this is accurate.
It's not medically licensed.
I don't think he's a real phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing a transfusion, I see. Okay.
Manually.
Yeah. It seems like it would have taken a very long time.
Nope, just had to throw some sheets on the couch and the furniture and we're good to go.
I'll just replace all of her blood with all of my blood.
It's already done.
What?
Now you're immune. Haha, now you're like me. Now they're gonna hate you.
Look.
Look at your new makeover.
Oh, this is what I've been looking like these past couple years? Oh my god.
You see? It worked.
He's so fucking creepy.
The antibodies in my blood worked.
Now we can be together.
My brother saved you, Ruth. Do you know what this means?
See, I'm the good guy.
You and I can save all the others. We won't be alone. We'll never be alone again.
Sure.
What's all this wee business?
Oh, get the garlic.
Yep. You were right.
Don't be afraid.
Oh, it smells delicious.
Alright, bro, I don't think garlic smells that fucking
Forgot how
good,
much
bro.
I love the smell of garlic.
I do kind of love the smell of garlic.
Ooh. It's not necessarily... I mean, I like garlic in my face. It's not bad.
Where are you going?
Taste or smell.
You're not going anywhere.
Go out there, you wouldn't get 10 feet.
When they come here, there won't be time for questions and answers. They'll come to kill. For God's sake, Robert, let me go. Oh, Robert, please.
Ruth, look, tomorrow.
Please. Robert.
Tomorrow, Ruth. Tomorrow will be all right.
Robert, no.
All I gotta do is get this damn mirror out the door and then I'm in.
Oh, because he took the garlic off the door.
Oh, shouldn't have done that. Should have known
What a
better.
moron.
Love how that's all it took was the garlic and the mirrors to keep him out this long. You don't have one element, you're screwed.
I've already checked it under the microscope. Wait, I'll show you.
I'll show
I'll
you.
prove it to you. I'll check it again.
Come look at the slide. The zombies are like breaking in, and he's like, as you can see under this microscope.
Fucking nerd.
Ruth, just take a look at this. This'll prove it to you.
Uh-oh.
Ruth, there's no change. I've double-checked.
Robert!
Ruth. Ruth!
Robert!
Oh my
Shit.
god.
You bite her?
Are you all right?
She reinfected now.
Probably, yeah.
Let's do the transfusion again. Oh, here they come. And she's not there to tell him that he's good.
Robert, run!
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit.
Run! They've come to kill you, Robert.
Am I being detained?
You're being staked.
Run! Run!
I'm just a regular human man. Oh shit. No. definitely not.
Definitely not.
Well, these people are all like half. They're like her, like she was. They're like half.
They're still kind of vampires.
Right.
They're treating it.
Up there!
Up there.
So what's the deal with these guns? How are these guns doing the trick?
You would?
Shooting
How are
garlic
these guns
at them.
doing the trick?
Garlic bullets.
Garlic bullets.
Wait! You don't understand!
Steak bullets.
Yeah, wooden bullets.
Must be. Pointy bullets.
Just wildly firing.
Wait!
Wait.
Wait.
Round the block! Move! Move!
Classic LA chase scene in the streets of Rome.
This way! Hey, over here! This way! Got her outside!
Wow, what a bunch of dummies.
Oh, shit. He's still her gun? Where'd he get this gun?
Yeah, I think he has her gun.
Oh, hell yeah. You go in the armory room for sure.
This is the armory?
Yeah, this.
There's a phone sitting on the desk.
Wow, it's kind of a light armory, huh?
You gotta pay 500 credits to get the Tommy gun off the wall.
Yeah, wait, what? He just left? Yeah, he just. I guess so. I guess you're right. Not a stunt double, surely.
Well, when you go downstairs,
I'm going all the way to the top, baby.
but you can't go anywhere from the roof.
Going up the stairs, going down the stairs, going up the stairs, going down the stairs, going up the sideways. What?
Nice cut.
Jump cut, jump cut.
They teleported into the room. So, what, he stole all the smoke grenades from the precinct gun
I guess
cabinet?
so. It's really slowing him down.
He just has a bunch of smoke grenades, but no guns.
Broke into the gun cabinet and didn't take a gun.
Haha, they'll never see me running into the only open door in this place.
Got the garlic grenades.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Where are the women with them? Carrying their children.
They're just there for
Great
church.
question. Midnight service.
I'm just here for the crackers and wine.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. But he's good.
How
He's-
am I
he's-
gonna get out of this jam?
want it to freeze frame, and then Waylon Jennings says something snarky, and then it cuts to commercial.
Freaks! All of you. All of you freaks! Mutations!
Ooh.
That was a good throw.
Hold it!
Okay, bro.
Freaks! I'm a man. The last
I'm a man.
man.
Oh, he kind of said it.
Robert.
They were afraid of me. They were afraid of me. They were afraid of me.
I didn't know.
What was that? Was that Seinfeld music? Was that what was that?
That's what I was trying to do, yeah.
So vampires. Have you guys heard about this? Vampires?
So Elaine, turns out Elaine was dating this vampire the whole time.
Wow, let's kill her.
Kramer said he got a great deal on garlic and steaks, and I said, Kramer, you gotta be out of your mind.
Cry about.
Jerry, let me suck your blood, Jerry.
We gotta do a transfusion, Jerry. Lay down on the couch.
Do you even know my blood type, Kramer?
Oh yeah, I got all of them.
I got it all. That was the end.
That was The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, past tense.
Past tense. All right. Yeah. So that was it.
Hey, what was that at the end?
Nothing. You didn't see anything.
I didn't get struck for that.
I don't think you're telling the truth. I think you're lying.
You didn't see anything. So that was The Last Man on Earth, and yeah, I mean, definitely way more going on in the last third than
right, is when things start actually happening.
Right. Is that how it is in the novel as well?
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. At least they were sticking to the structure.
Yeah, it actually was surprisingly. I mean,
yeah. Overall, like, yeah. What
you know, like there were some details got kind of changed. The ending was like a little bit different, but still functionally the same. I actually really liked this as an adaptation. Yeah, I haven't seen the Omega Man, but I'm not a big fan of the Will Smith adaptation.
Right.
I almost like kind of resent that movie.
Right.
Because now I think like that's probably going to be the last adaptation that's going to be around for a while, because anytime if anybody says I Am Legend nowadays, they're going to think of the Will Smith movie.
Immediately. Absolutely.
Not anything else or the original story.
Right.
Because just so many people got exposed to it through that movie.
Right.
But I think what really failed in that one, so and this one I think got right, was there's two parts to I Am Legend. There's the idea that being so isolated will just drive you crazy. People aren't meant to just live completely by themselves.
Right.
And then the other side of it is there in the end. The reason it's called I Am Legend, he gets captured by the cured vampires,
right?
And as he's getting carted off to be executed, he sees everybody's terrified of him. He realizes he's become the boogeyman, and he thinks to himself, "Oh shit, I am Legend."
Okay,
I was wrong.
Right.
And like the Will Smith movie just completely drops that for kind of, I think, more of just a generic, like, I'm gonna, what is it, like I'm gonna blow myself up so that the other people can try to go off to this, like we hear that there's some kind of stronghold of people.
One of the see, I haven't
they're
seen
looking for a cure, like it has nothing to do, like there's no, like it. I feel this movie should be called I Am Legend, and Will Smith's movie should not be called I Am Legend because they just completely dropped that second point from the
title
story.
switch. Yeah, it is. That's an interesting point. Because I don't think that they necessarily like nailed communicating that point in this 100%.
Not
but
really.
They tried.
Still,
they made an
like,
attempt.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's definitely kind of shoehorned in at the end. It's not like you don't really understand this idea of
you don't necessarily have that big epiphany moment.
Right, the gravity of it. Like he's screaming it at the end, but it's like, oh, we don't really understand, that kind of the realization that the character had, like as
it may be one of those things that's just it's hard to do when it's not in text.
Right. It's trying to figure out how you get that, like in your situations and your conflict, get to that point, and it can be difficult. And especially here, I mean, goodness knows, when they had Richard Matheson's script, but then I think they had somebody else come in and make some changes, and then on top of that, because they were filming it in Italy, I think they had 2 writers do an Italian translation. So I think in the translation, things got changed. And I think that's kind of where a lot of Matheson's problems kind of stemmed from, is that there was just so much so many other there were like 3 other writers, I think, besides him.
Yeah.
So I think it was just so much kind of dilution of what he...
It surprises me a little bit that he had such a problem with it.
Right.
Because, I mean, maybe it's just because I think out of the stuff that I've seen, this is probably the closest to the original. But
okay.
Maybe if you're the author, you don't feel that way.
You're always going to be very nitpicky about what they're getting right, what they're not.
Well, he also didn't have he hadn't seen the shitty Will Smith version.
Well, I think he was still alive, and I didn't look up. I meant to, but I didn't look up.
I wonder how he felt about that.
I didn't look up if he had said anything about it, but I'm sure somebody got a quote from
him.
This
fucking bullshit.
I'm sure he wasn't totally pleased with it.
Fucking hate this.
So I'll look into that, and I'll see what I can dig up, because it would be interesting to know. I mean, Richard Matheson is passed now, but he was still alive then, and so I'm sure he shed some kind of light on his opinion, which he let it be known that he did not like this version. He felt his words, Vincent Price was miscast. That was...
I haven't seen the Will Smith version, but like what happens at the end?
Well, like Evan said, you said that he blows.
It's been a little while since I've seen it, but I think it's just so.
I haven't seen the end either.
Will Smith is, he's by himself, and then I think some other people kind of come into the picture, and they're trying to escape to some, like there's like a human stronghold somewhere that they're trying to find a cure, and so Will Smith's character, I think, like sacrifices himself so that the others can get away from the vampires. I think that's about it.
Wow. So he like finds these survivors and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, I think it's more like an episode of The Walking Dead than an epiphany about how
humans treat like people that are other.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how like normality is just like a function of majority rule. And, we make our own monsters.
Yeah.
Makes
that
sense.
Sounds like a very boring movie then.
Yep. It does. I stopped watching it. But yeah, I mean this, and I've seen bits and pieces of Omega Man, but I haven't watched all of that either. And of course I've seen this because I love Vincent Price. And I think this is a great, when you compare it to other Vincent Price performances, this is really a solid performance from him. And it's one of his better movies. And he was really proud of this movie and this performance, even though it didn't do well at the box office. He was always very happy with how this turned out. He felt like it was better than Charlton Heston's version. Of course, Charlton Heston said, the quote that I have from Charlton Heston was that he felt that Last Man on Earth, the movie we just watched, Charlton Heston said was incredibly botched, totally unfrightening, ill-acted, sloppily written and photographed.
Wow, that's
so
scathing.
He just went in
it's savage,
on this movie, which I think is totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Overkill, but that's what you get from the president of the NRA. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Vincent Price was really proud of this, and I think that it's obviously different from what Matheson wrote, and I don't think he was necessarily the best choice for the character, but I think he made this role in this movie his own. I think, all things considered,
he did a fine job.
In a rare heroic role.
Fairly effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's a change of pace for him. He got to play a hero. Pretty much every other time he's playing a fucking wacko. I mean, that's the thing. It's funny that you say that, like, that's kind of what this is missing, is that idea that being the last man would drive you mad.
Yeah.
Like, because all of his other horror movies is him going mad. So the fact that he just totally keeps it together.
If he was going to deliver on this premise at all, you'd think it would be on that.
You think Matheson would actually be happy? Oh, the guy who's good at playing the madman, like, he'll go mad. No, I'm not going mad. I refuse to go mad in this. Like, that's kind of wild.
I'm sad.
I'm just madly depressed. I'm not.
Okay. We need you to convey sadness. I am sad.
I'm so very sad. Yeah, I mean, it is really weird, but I still think that I think Vincent Price kind of, I maybe had a hand in trying to not want to play it like mad and want to play it a little more realistic and a little more grounded.
Right. Well, yeah, this is his only shot to do that.
Really is. Again, like the one time a director wanted him to play a realistic, grounded role, they were fighting the whole time. So, from what I can tell, this was smooth sailing. But I mean, it was really hard for a horror actor like Vincent Price to break out and get to play like a hero, and to even, I mean, outside of horror movies, you got to think about how hard it was for him to just even go to a studio and get a bit role. It was happened every once in a while, but it wasn't easy, and a lot of these horror guys just kind of got stuck. And back in the old days, you were stuck in horror. Where did you end up?
We're frozen.
We're frozen?
No, they're not. Hang on, you're not frozen on my screen.
I don't know. Okay, maybe we're frozen, maybe we're not frozen. Hopefully we're not. Yeah, are we frozen? Maybe we're not. Hopefully we're not.
Sounds like you need to let it go.
Oh God. All right, you get one frozen joke the entire Scream stream ever. This is your only episode you ever get a reference. Great advice there, Fresh. Great advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I get paid the big bucks for this.
This pro advice.
But did you
tech support?
But it kind of got off track a little bit there, because I was posing a question. Back in the old days, when you're a horror actor, and you can't get work anywhere else, where do you end up?
You sell wine and you make a record about it.
Well, that's true. But even before but I mean, in the 30s and 40s, like, specifically, you can't get work at the studios, then you end up at Poverty Row. So that's where we're going next week.
We always end up back at Poverty Row.
We always end up back at Poverty Row, and we're going back there next week. A PRC film called The Monster Maker, and it's a mad scientist movie. It's not any of the big guys. It's not Lugosi. It's not Karloff. It's J. Carroll Naish, who's, you wouldn't recognize the name, but he did some horror movies at Universal and did some other horror movies in his career, and not a good guy in real life from what I hear, kind of a racist asshole, but that's what it is. And then the other guy in it, Ralph Morgan, who also did some Universal horror movie bit parts and was the brother of the guy who played the wizard in The Wizard of Oz.
Was he a good guy, or was he also an asshole?
I think he was a good guy, from what I can tell. But I know J. Carroll Naish was a asshole. Because I'll go into it next week. I'll save the story that I have for next week.
No. Please go on.
No, it's too long. Suffice to say, join us next week for the Monster Maker, 9 p.m. Same time, same place, Friday, for your fix of public domain horror. You can also join us next Wednesday for another exciting installment of Flash Gordon Conquers the Universe, Chapter 2. It's already been...
Where last we left Gordon, he was falling into a hole.
He was falling into a pit. It was pretty wild. Fucking classic cliffhanger. So we're going to find out what happens.
He's kind of off the cliff. He's not hanging.
Yeah, definitely not hanging. I mean, there was nowhere to hang. There were no ledges, and it was
falling straight down through the planet.
Smooth sides and this this hole in the planet. So maybe this is how he'll conquer the universe. I don't know. We're only going to be 2 episodes in, so we'll see. It should be fun. Again, taking it more in a sci-fi direction for the minisodes this season, but it's thrilling, action-packed, space opera, good time fun. So you can join us on Wednesdays at 9 for that. You can follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, if you still use it, Facebook, all at Scream Stream Show.
Are we verified on Twitter?
Oh,
we can't afford it.
I'm verified. I'm verified. $8, baby.
You did not. Oh my god. So I'll start using it I'll start writing it off.
Look, Elon's having a hard time right now. He needs my $8.
$8 a month to pay for a verified Twitter Blue. Yeah, that's definitely a tax write-off. But yeah, you can follow us there.
If you'd like to impersonate the Scream Stream, it only costs $8.
Only costs you $8. Small price to pay. And we're also on YouTube at Scream Stream Show, youtube.com/@ScreamStreamShow. So you can check out all of our past episodes there. All the Scream Stream needs that you could ever ask for.
All of our highlights, our cartoons.
Yep, it's all there. All ready for your viewing pleasure. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, S-Sync. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Fresh, as always.
It's been fun.
We're into another season, into season 4. So getting ready for an exciting one. So thank you guys so much. And hold on, I forgot. You want to follow Fresh Rogan at Fresh Rogan. He's everywhere. Sorry, he's verified.
Yeah, you'll know that I'm the right one on Twitter because I have the check mark.
He's the verified at Fresh Rogan, so you can find him on Twitter.
Genuine article.
Yeah.
anything before we sign off, boys?
Well, I think we've paid the Vincent Price.
Well, on that note, sweet screams, everybody.
Creep tight.
And to all, a good fright.